they start getting beards. When you start seeing your small boy looking at himself in the mirror, paying attention to his body, mama, tata, wake up. Wake ekikapu, please. Stop slumbering. Stop leaving your kids with the maids. Your child has friends. Find out who are their parents. Some kids, their mothers are prostitutes. Mama has more than one man. They come home when they are drunk. That kid grew up with their mother, mumuzigo. Echibaula curtain. You think the child is sleeping? That thing plays with the child's mind. The child starts imagining and wondering what's going on. That's how kids learn things. And now they have friends, which friends you don't know. Esther tells you, Mama, I've gone to see my friends. Mama told me when we're in school, Mama told us to bring our friends home. And we took some of our friends, not all, some. Because we're staying far. It takes a friend who loves you to move from Chitebide and boarding primary school to come to Najanankumbi. In nursery school, daycare, we don't expect your friends to be coming home unless their parents bring them. Though Esther yatambulanga asamba ebikebe, ng'agenda abala ebipande, ng'agenda akyama mikwano gye, because most of the kids would stay on my way home. Ne tukyama, ne tubuuza, ne tunywa amazzi, ne tulya amapeera. Esther's life, that is Esther's life. Ne tukyama ewammwe, ne tubabuuzako, ne tulya ebikajjo, ne tweyongera. That is Esther's life. There were kids who were staying next to the school in Chitebide and boarding primary school in Wankulukuku. By the time Esther gets to Najanankumbi, she knows everyone where they stay. That is Esther to date, unless if your parents moved. There were kids that were staying near the school gate. From the school gate, there were kids that staying near Chitebide Secondary School. Then there is a place where teachers used to stay after the Wankulukuku Dechisawe, that road that goes back to Nyanama. Esther would use Panya and go through Muchisenyi and Nyanama. Esther would go and branch off in Indeva. She stays in Najanankumbi near Masanyaraze, the power station on Wamara Road. The only Tegula that is still on the Google map. And Esther goes through Ndeva, Chibuye, and Esther comes back. Mama promised to beat me up. It is my best friend Nabumba who taught me to go through the railway. Would walk on the rail and I would count the rails. We would walk up to Chibuye. Then we walk back on Entebbe Road. Then Nabumba goes on Salama Road and she goes as if you're going to the beach, Busabala. Not Salama, Busabala. And she goes behind the year. Esther sometimes goes to Nabumba's home. Then Esther walks back home. You're supposed to be home by 2. Esther gets home at 4. When I went to Mengo, to get home, I can choose to go through Mengo Hospital. I go through Rubaga till home. Esther's directions were very interesting. There were kids that were staying on the road till home. When I went to Caltech Academy, it was in Makere. There were many routes to go home. I can choose to go through town. I can choose to go through Nankulavye, Mengo, and home, because we used to walk sometimes. That is Esther's life. Chambogo, I would walk up to town. Get to town and I'm like, I would go to people's offices. Family members, friends. I would go to town to see how girls are dressed up so that I know how to dress when I start working. That's how I know very many people. And Esther has a habit. When you're my friend, I become a friend to your friends. And they stop being my friends because of you. I take it a notch higher. Esther can come and tell you someone you introduced to her, and she tells you that so-and-so gave birth. And you're like, Esther, yes, they gave birth. Yes, they got married. I know they work with the bank. And you're like, Esther, you don't stay home. How did you? It is because they are my friends. Your friends are supposed to know your well-being. The class of friend will come. But those very friends can stand in your way to do your calling, your purpose that comes with tasks. People who raise you can stand in the way. But as I told you, since I don't fit in your circles, those who have been getting worried about your inboxes, I have given you the time to make sure you see everything I left in your box before it's too late. When they give birth to a baby, they cut the umbilical cord. They use scissors. Sometimes they ask the father to do it. And they separate the child from the cord. What you did was to separate me from my friends, the so-called group admins. You cut the cord, but you used the wrong scissors. It's me with the right scissors to cut the cord. If you're a group admin, because church now is on social media, business is on social media, you cut the cord with the wrong scissors. I have the right scissors. You want the scissors? Come for them and cut me completely off. If you can. Don't forget I'm a Ugandan 311. Born and raised in Uganda. Studied in Uganda. I can never stop being a Ugandan. No matter what. It's the nation at the crossroad. But if you think you can cut me off, have the scissors. It's me with the right scissors. When you're giving anyone anything sharp, you give it to them using the handle. They're supposed to get it with a handle. Never give anyone things like this. I don't want you to cause accidents. I don't want you to take the blame. This is only known by engineers. Arts, all they've done is to hand me the scissors when they're holding them like this. And they forgot, with my engineering skills, I know how to handle sharp ends. God gave me the hand to handle anything. I am with the hand that writes God's heart. So we just suppress any sharpness you sent me with God's word. And I make sure Habakkuk 2:2 comes to pass. With the hand. You sent sharp words with the hand that writes for God. You came at a time, you came at the wrong time to try and destroy. You came at the wrong time in my life. You would have come in 2015, 14. Yeah, those that tried to come in 2014. And they thought they won. In 2015, he approved my hand. I got out of the country with all the equipment I need. I cannot send you any sharp word to destroy you. I will send you the word of God to give you life. Open your Bibles in the book of Exodus. And we'll look at someone. Today is number 6. Exodus 3. Before Exodus 3, do you know who wrote the book of Exodus? A man called Moses. Do you know who Moses is? Do you have a child called Moses? Why did you name your child Moses? Have they ever bothered to read the Bible? Do they know the assignment in life? Because if Moses doesn't have God, he's going to work for the devil. And when a Moses works for a devil, you're in trouble. Moses is supposed to open. But when Moses works for the devil, to close you inside. Careful. When you start with Exodus 1, chapter 1, they are talking about, now these are the names of the sons of Israel. We are still looking at genealogy, we are still in Genesis. And family dynamics is still on. And we are looking at Jacob's family. One of the biggest families. Where you all come from. Some come from Ishmael. Some come from Isaac. There were 2 boys. Now these are the names of the sons of Israel who came to Egypt with Jacob. Each came with his household. Reuben, Simon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Gad, and Asher. Those are 7. We have Dan and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. all the descendants of Jacob were 70 people. Joseph was already in Egypt. We have counted 11 children. But Jacob gave birth to 13 children. Diana gave birth, is a daughter of Leah. And she's not counted because she's not a seed. And she was raped. They count boys. God created man first. He needed a seed to get a seed. Women, you are a garden. And you come from the man. So don't you ever get offended. Without the garden, man won't eat. He will not be multiplied. He will he will be extincted. Do you know extinction? Without a woman, he goes into extinction. No one takes his legacy ahead. People who die without giving birth, they stop there. Even when they get a hair, that hair who is not their blood, who is not their seed, will not take it the way your seed takes it. I know, I have seen it. They've actually just destroyed the man's legacy. Parents, please don't send us people we don't know to be heirs to our parents. A heir, becoming a heir, it is responsibility. You're supposed to take care of the dead man or woman's family as a must. Parents, don't make that mistake ever again. When you have children, let your children take on after you. It is allowed. Why do you bring someone who does not know us, who has not been in our lives, to take on after my father, to take on after my mother? I asked one of Daddy's cousins, why is it that when we are growing up, we don't see culture? Why is it that when I'm getting married, I have educated myself, then I see the so-called family and culture coming up? Why are we family when we are having parties? But when I need help, I am not your family member. When I need help, when I want to go to school, you're not available. Why is it so easy to educate other people's children, help other people who are not your family to go higher, and your family members are rotting? Can someone out there give me an answer, please? I need to understand. Why is it so easy for you to help your friend's child and you cannot send a coin to your own siblings? I need to understand that part. Our so-called pastors, our so-called motivational speakers, our so-called the corporate mothers and fathers in the nations. Can you tell me why? If someone who is big in the nation encourages other kids, and when it comes to me, they say they should stop taking care of us, and they call us family. And you think Uganda is going anywhere when we still have such things in the society? I doubt. I doubt. Because if my great-grandmother and her husband, they had not allowed their kids to get married, other families, sort yourselves out. Parents, especially mothers, stop choosing spouses for your children. Stop terminating God's work in their lives. You're altering God's work. You're becoming a problem. Your child has tasks and can only accomplish them with the spouse God chooses. And tata, mama, you come in and said that is not our level. The Lord told me to warn our fathers and mothers in the spirit. Some of them terminated God's work by chasing away a spouse God chose for their children. And you will pay the price just in case. If you didn't see what is ahead of your child, you will pay the price. You're going to spend the rest of your life praying for your child and the marriage they are getting or they've got. You see, you do things and you think you're doing them in private. Let me tell you something. When it comes to God, you have no privacy. Parents who did that know themselves. Hope they get the message loud and clear. Is the spouse your child having came from God, pastors? Oh, it was an arrangement. My child gets married to my friend. My friend's child. Class issues. Right now you cannot see. But when people get in there, that is when they get to know that I made a mistake, I chose the wrong partner. When they are not compatible. When you're just dating, sitani. Alindia covenant. He knows the power covenant comes with. He's waiting for that covenant. You're gonna see. God chose partners for your children, pastors in the nations. And you terminated it. You chose for your child. You chose God's choice. Yay! God does not. You don't have any privacy when it comes to God. All your dirty linen is out there. And God gives it to those that He has assigned to make sure things are in order. Sorry, it is you people who teach us to have. You do not taught us about the gifts and the fivefold ministries. You keep dodging that teach us because you're part of it and you've done wrong things. Mama, you chased the wife for that younger man. The one God chose. Mama, you chased the younger man God chose for your daughter. Your daughter is killers. That family of your friend, you don't know their background. When he got saved, your friend, he ran away. But his family gathering, they keep putting them at the altar. And for him, he survived. But his kids have not survived. They were waiting for them to get married. Then they claim them on a bigger level. And he does not understand deliverance. Your friend ewaabwe gye bava basezi. And your child has refused to give their life to Christ full. They love going out with other children and do other things that God does not want. They love complicating and compromising. That friend of yours, you think you know them? Esther, I have worked with that man for 30 years. Did they take you where they come from? Do you know where they come from? Do you know that child was chosen to serve at their family altar? And they are waiting for a particular age. And your child is not serious in the Lord. And your child is almost making the age. And they are waiting for that age. They are going to come for the child. And we are telling you to go for deliverance and you're saying what? Hey! Teri muzimu gwagala gulaba. Buuza nze nja kunyumiza. Jankubira mu America. Omuzungu n'agigamba ojja fuluma. Saakusomerako nja kusomera olulala. Jankubira mu America. Goli ewoza omwana afumbirwe. Mukwano. If I don't deal with the teri musajja asobola kumpasa. Bajja mukuba. Naye ajja gyewuunye. Kati mukwano. Nze sikolera sitaani. Omusajja ajja kujja ne sitaani weewaabwe. Tugatteko n'oweewaffe. Tulyoke tukole kolabo. Linda Yesu. Gwaba baba weeyo baba wase bato. Abaana balina kwasanga batawa. Mukwano ebyewammwe. Ebiyinda emyaka gye birinda. And God did not call you in the area of deliverance. You don't get the point. Ate mweno season nabo baafubutuse. Abenzikiriza y'ennono. Kati basamira kyeri. N'olyoka batumokinga. Obwana bwo bubeera ku social media. Bwebukweka family. Obufaananyi bwonna buli eyo buyitiikira. Akaana keesaze emaali. Akaana ka graduate. Mwana graduate nzedi. Yeah. How day a day. Nga tebatugambye aba family. Nga tebabagambye. Bakoze embaga. Omwana yankyayira ddala yakoze embaga ne batangamba. Omwana nze nina omusiba akakooyi. Omwana nze nina omuwa ekibbo n'akamba akaganda. Nze nina omujja mu kisenge n'akakooyi. Omwana twamuwa erinnya lyange ne balitwala ne balikkiriza. Ne bampisaamu amaaso. Katika Esther Solome tekannalokoka bulungi. Kirabo ekanyumira kabeereyo nga kanywa simaanoofu. But that is not a beer. Kabeereyo kasitudde tasika wansi ne wairu. Kali eyo kanywa ku wayini. Mbonywako katono olw'olubuto lwo. Kumbe kali yali connecting ku Uganda warriors, the spirit that binds us. Kali eyo kali ku mwoyo gw'eggwanga lya Uganda. Ate Uganda eva mu Buganda. Oh. Baba bali awo nga zireese ssenga. Asengeko ensonga, senga ow'ensonga nga gusa. Nga zo bakyali ate mulokole tayinza kugoba ssenga w'abaana. Munange. Kuli omwana tu. Kuli embaga. Tagenda kuyomba ng'olaba. all Senga wants is to see the photo. That is all they want. Even nange omukolo gwali gwaddi. Mukama Katonda wange. Senga abaali awo ng'asoma amawulire ng'ekifaananyi kya Esther Solome kirabikira mu mawulire nga Senga akikuba ppica ng'asirika. Esther nga banoonya mwana ng'omwana abula. Esther bawa Esther tamanyi kusaba aminisa bumiinisa. Nange sinze nvuga kiraasi gwaguma tugende nywera. Those are family dynamics. These guys had families. They entered Egypt when they were 70. Because Joseph was already in Egypt. Who is Moses? Let us jump and jump and jump. In the same chapter, Exodus 1. I am going to jump. Now new king arose over Egypt who did not know Joseph, nor the history of his accomplishments. Like some of us in our families, many did not meet my grandfather, the late Martin Kalibala. They don't know our history. Many did not meet Kaveja and Idwala. Many don't know who Kaveja is. Kaveja is a title, it's not her name. So everything I talk about, Biachiaye because it's not in any of the history of Buganda. Because she was not supposed to exist. Deal with your phone behind there and your keyboard. Baganda, oye. She was hidden. We are a hidden agenda. Go find out your history, where you come from. I am her 3rd generation. I am the 4th generation of her parents. She chose my grandmother for her son. The way you're choosing a wife for your son. Hope you know what God's plan is. Hope you're not choosing trouble for yourselves. Because if you choose trouble, you're in trouble. You're gonna eat it at the end of that day. No parent wants to see their child struggling in marriage. Trust me, no parent. But if you choose a spouse for your child, get ready. You're gonna pay the price. Continue. Their life was so secretive and they chose who to tell. It was not a public affair. Why does it come out in the season? I am making 38. I survived number 36. Because when I was 36, it was a dead year. And 38, because the seat belonged to her. She could not get it because she's a woman, and they killed her child. She could not get the seat because she was a woman. They asked her to give birth to a boy who carries it. She gave birth to 2 boys and 2 girls. One from another man, 3 of her kids from one man. And it happened because her man yamudibya. Abasajja hello. Because ng'anoonya omwana anaatwala mmandu. It's a spiritual thing in Africa. Continue. When you don't know certain things, you don't know the whole story, just shut up. See, and say, someone posted it that if you don't know the whole story, shut up. You think I am the one, I am not the one. The Lord asked me to do it so that I can help you. It is not me, it is the Lord. Why? Because we carry Uganda on our shoulders. It is not me. Disclaimer. It is not me. If you don't know the whole story, you shut up. The Lord wants to help Uganda. It is not me. But I have to pay the price. Either. You can read the whole of it, number 1. Let me read it, don't worry. Verse 10. Come, let us deal shrewdly with them, so that they will not multiply. You don't want us to multiply. I am busy. Sorry, I had to answer that message because I was needed upstairs. Then Joseph died and all, verse 6, then Joseph died and all his brothers and all that generation. But the Israelites were prolific and increased greatly. They multiplied and became extremely strong, so that the land was filled with them. Now a new king arose out over Egypt, who did not know. Why do I go back here? I am helping people who don't read the Bible. I am not talking to your congregation. I am talking to everyone around the world. Good. He said to his people, behold, the people of, verse 9, behold, the people of the sons of Israel are too many and too mighty for us. They greatly outnumber us. Come, let us deal shrewdly with them, so that they will not multiply, and in the event of war, join our enemies and fight against us and escape from the land. So they set taskmasters over them to oppress them with hard labor. And the sons of Israel built Pithom and Ramses as storage cities for Pharaoh. But the more the Egyptians oppressed them, the more they multiplied and expanded, so that the Egyptians dreaded and were separated by the Israelites. And the Egyptians made the Israelites serve rigorously, forcing them into severe slavery. They made their lives bitter with hard labor in mortar, brick, and all kinds of field work. All their labor was harsh and severe. We've worked with people in our families and amongst our friends who have the Egyptian heart. What they do when they want you to stop, they abuse you. They abuse your kindness. They do anything to destroy your heart until when they send you into a mental institution. They say words. That is hard labor in the times of Israel, because they were multiplying. There are people who work for the devil. All they do is to push and destroy the good person inside you by bad-mouthing you and slandering you the way they want, by disrespecting you. When you find them, please, don't worry yourself. Just know you're working with an Egyptian who works for the devil. What you should do, just walk right with your God. They will disappear themselves. They'll get tired and throw you off the board. Don't leave. Let them throw you out. Those were instructions God gave me and said, let them throw you out. Don't leave. I've always wanted to leave. He said, when you run, you will pay the consequences. Then the king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, verse 14, they made their lives bitter with hard labor in mortar, brick, and all kinds of field work. All their labor was harsh and severe. Then the king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, one of whom was named Shiphrah, beauty, and other named Puah, splendor, when you act as midwives to the Hebrew women and see them on the birth stool, if it is a son, you shall kill him. But if it's a daughter, she shall live. Because a daughter cannot impregnate herself. Because through a girl, a man multiplies himself. Having more girls and less boys, they won't multiply. Kill the seed. Kill the seed that is a seed planter. A girl has no seeds. A girl has no testicles. A girl has eggs, ovaries. A boy has testicles. That is why a boy is given harsh work. Sometimes it's not for you to earn money. Sometimes it's to kill you so that we destroy the seeds in your testicles. Those who love sleeping around when you're not using one partner careful, those are one of the ways the devil uses to destroy your own seeds. Why do you think men get prostate cancer? It's for destroying the seeds inside so that you don't multiply. And if you get it young, you're in trouble. That business of people lying to you that because you're not active sexually, so they are stupid. Cancer is a generational curse. Why does it grab boobs? Why does it get this? Why does it get your intestines? Why does it attack your reproductive system? Have some wisdom before you come out to speak stupid things, encouraging the devil's work, so that we have more kids who don't have parents. Boys give birth to kids and they don't take care of them. You're giving birth to a child with a wrong woman. That is disastrous. You're giving birth to an Ishmael. You're not serious, I'll teach you. Cancer is a generational curse. And boys are like, it is because you're not sexually active. Gendo duke, and your balls run around. Sebo songo nyini. promoting obwenzi nosaba ekintu kyeno nogenda nokola nekintu kyeri nokikozamu gwe buli sowaani ogikozamu oli musiru. Mwewe ku kitiibwa abasajja bannange, oyagala tukuwa ekitiibwa nga you're sleeping around. The girls talk about you, you lose kitiibwa just like that and you want ekitiibwa. Genda eri ku dina tulina kitiibwa, dina foundation kitiibwa tulina dina ku 29th. Tusonde sente bamaama mu lockdown abateesobola n'abaana baabwe tubayambe. Kyokoli eyo mbonoonya kitiibwa and you're sleeping around mbwekyo kikuwa ekitiibwa. Oliko ekikyamu mukombooza endwadde. Otwalira maama w'abaana endwadde. Mwakulira wammwe abatalina mpisa. Obiddangamu. Musajja mukulu kwebuza amagezi. Mbonoonya ekitiibwa nga you're sleeping around. Please. Tobiddanga. The devil hates your generation to go to the next level. Ayagala ogendeyo naye nga mumukolera. Kati ozaala akaana n'omukazi atali mutuufu gwe wasanze mu kibaala. Oluvango ng'amalo nyeewo. Ng'omusayi gutukaabirira. Temuyina amagezi. Tobiddanga. Buli musajja atalabirira mwana wo gwe wazaala eyo nga wamuzaala mu muwala nga tewamuwasa. Tugenda kukuba ebikonde mu olwo olubuto. Tobiddanga. But the midwives feared God with profound reverence and did not do as the king of Egypt commanded, but they let the boy babies live. So the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said to them, "Why have you done this and allowed the boy babies to live?" The midwives answered Pharaoh, "Because the Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian girls." Girls! You're not an Egyptian. Why are you behaving like one? Why do you leave your country and you behave like that country? Why don't you move with your morals from home? Esther, omuwala eyeetunda afuna nnyo, afuna kiralu. I am not an Egyptian. And I come from a family that is Nilotic. We represent Israel. The tribe I am in is Israel. Throughout. We are Nilotics. Tuli balunzi. Kati gwe atava mu tribe gye nvaamu. Nga tetova mu ebika byenvaamu si mwova. Mukwano. Kajambo. Mpozi ekika kyammwe kikola ki mu Buganda? Ffe tuli ba Nilotics. Kati leeta ssente tugende Karamoja. Nakuganja kusomesa ojja kuyiga. A tribe that has herdsmen. They represent Israel n'ebitiibwa. Muwedde. The farmer Cain killed the herdsman Abel. Esther tuveeko. Read your Bibles. It is not my fault. Tulina mwoyo omutukuvu to explain to you the details I have. Sorry. Wangamba oli mukulu mu myaka gikuyambye eki. The midwives answered Pharaoh, "The Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women. They are vigorous and give birth quickly, and their babies are born before the midwife can't get to them. Mama wange abaana be bonna yabasindika busindisi. Nga nzijanga nkwesibako gwe munnange gwe basala enkya n'eggulu. Era munnange wagenze okungoba nga sijja mu kakiraabu kammwe ke basalaasala buli ssaawa. Amaanyi agasindika omwana togalina. You're too lazy to push a child. Mukwano, musawo agenda okujjanga omwana ali walipu. Nga nesiba mu katribe kamwe gye babasalaasala buli ssaawa. Leka naawe kambeera eno gye tusindika abaana ffe ab'ebbulani. Lwaki nga nesiba ku ba Egyptians okugwa eddalo? Nedda mukwano ndeka. Bye. Kansigale no mu katribe kaffe. So God was good to the midwives, and the people of Israel multiplied and became very strong. Let me stay in the isolation, and I become stronger, and I multiply in silence, and I go higher, 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 higher. Wangu bangende nfuuke stronger. Ojja genda okundabako physical. Webale kunsindika eno. Nagenze mu training ground mu ddungu gye tukulira. Bajenerali babakolera mu ddungu. Siko pizza. Si mu lujjudde. Kabaka bamwawula ne bamutwala for training. Takula nabakopi. Why were the royal families taken to the UK? Especially those that carried the king's mantle. You don't know. That is why I left Uganda. Let me rub it in. Have a copy kajambo. And because the midwives feared God with profound reverence, he established families and households for them. Then Pharaoh commanded all his people, saying, every son who is born to the Hebrews must be thrown in the Nile. I am a Ugandan. Hey, I am a Ugandan. The source of the river Nile comes from Uganda. It comes from Ginger, the district where my first birthday was. The district who has a king currently who is married to you. Rub it in, rub it in. Banyiga telinkwatako ate nengenda nesoma environment engineering. Purifying water. The final stage, it has to go through a papyrus which is grown in water. Purity esangibwa mu kiwempe. Tesangibwa mu matiribona g'amakanisa gammwe mu kiwempe. Nakugamba ojje n'akatabo n'ekkalaamu tusome obeereyo weefuula omugezi. Jangu n'akatabo n'ekkalaamu. Come with a book and a pen and I teach you. Oli awo saakanya biki? Wakola koosi ki? Ondabye. Tebamuweerera tasoma. Yes, we asasula fees. It's an adequate government sponsorship. Norwegians never sasula renewable energy. Era Katonda yagamba omuzungu amusasulire anti bakabaka tubatwala bwera abazungu ne bababangula. To all the Norwegians, I love you. The Germans refused to pay for me. The Germans don't understand what I carry. The Norwegians understood. I love you, Norwegians. The Muganda said no. And the Norwegians said, Esther, you qualify, come on. To be thrown in the river Nile, but every daughter should... Girls! Chapter 2, I'll read a few verses. I'm looking for Moses. Now a man of the house of Levi, because not everyone understands what I'm doing. They don't read the Bible. Even those who read it don't understand it. They don't have the Holy Ghost. Now a man of the house of Levi, the priestly tribe, went and took as his wife a daughter of Levi. The woman conceived and gave birth to a son, and when she saw that he was especially beautiful and healthy, she hid him for 3 months to protect him from the Egyptians. Why was she hiding him? Why 3 months? You don't know. And I come from a lineage whose great-grandmother was hidden. Who chose a wife for her son, who gave birth to 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and the boy decided to give his life to Christ, and God chooses the boy, and he carries the mantle of Moses. And he gives birth to a baby girl as his firstborn. Chiturid. To get them. I love the Bible. When she could no longer hide him, she got him a basket, chest, made of papyrus reeds, and covered it with tar and pitch, making it waterproof. The first boat not to sink was made by Moses' mother. And they used papyrus. Those are raw materials got from water. Those are plants that grow in water. And they clean water. It is the last stage of purification. Virginity will come. Papyrus purifies water. I happen to come from the first church in Uganda to have a papyrus. It is my mother. Then she put the child in it and set it among the reeds by the bank of the Nile. And his sister Miriam stood some distance away to find out what would happen to him. Now the daughter of Pharaoh came down to the bath at the Nile, and she, together with her maidens, walked along the river's bank, and she saw the basket among the reeds, and sent her maid to get it, and she brought it to her. When she opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the baby was crying. And she took pity on him and said, "This is one of the Hebrews' children." Verse 7, Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call a wet nurse from the Hebrew women to nurse the child for you?" Ugandans who are nurses here, are you nursing the children? Because you're immigrants. Hebrews became immigrants in Egypt. They were immigrants in Canaan because of their grandfather, Abraham. To all immigrants out there, what are you doing in that country? You're mixing and mingling and looking like the country. You are an American now. God, yeah. You're a Briton now. You're a German. You're in the Deutschland. You speak Dutch. You're a Norwegian now. You're now in Sweden and you speak Swiss. Or you eat Swiss cheese. You went to France, now you speak French. You're now a Frencho. I can see. You went to Canada, now you're a Canadian. And you behave like a Canadian. You dress like a Canadian. And you're Ugandan. Born and raised in Uganda. And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go ahead." So the child went and called the child's mother. But for you, when you reach in that country, you start beating your fellow Ugandan, right? Instead of breastfeeding your fellow Ugandan, you start punching each other. You don't want them to progress, right? You throw them out of your houses. You badmouth them instead of breastfeeding them. You're bad-mouthing a fellow Ugandan abroad. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go ahead." So the child went and called the child's mother. Then Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this child away and nurse him for me, and I will give you your wages." So the woman took the child and nursed him. And the child grew, and she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she named him Moses, and said, "Because I drew him out of the water." Do you know what water represents? Water gives life. But water can kill you at the same time. Don't play with water. God used water as a weapon. He did that in Noah's time. And then he sent a covenant in form of a sign, never to destroy man. Then those in homosexuality went and hid under a covenant. That's why you can't touch them. They forgot one thing. They named themselves pride. Read the book of James. What happens to proud people? One day after Moses had grown into an adult, it happened that he went to his countrymen and looked with compassion at their hard labors, and he saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, one of his countrymen. He turned to look around, and seeing no one, he killed the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. He went out. You kill and hide in the sand, eh? Why not kill and send in the water? You kill and hide in the sand. There is death in the sand. Takes us back to the environment. You don't know what the sand represents. You're in Middle East. You're in the desert. Okay. Hope one day you don't go to Dubai when you're not approved by God and the sand buries you. You know you love leaving Uganda without asking for permission from God. After all, it's your money. I pray they don't bury you in the sand. Continue. He went out the next day and saw two Hebrew men fighting with each other, and he said to the aggressor, "Why are you striking your friend?" But the man said, "Who made you a prince and a judge over us? Do you intend to kill me as you killed the Egyptian?" Then Moses was afraid and said, "Certainly this incident is known." When Pharaoh heard about this matter, he tried to kill Moses. Then Moses fled from Pharaoh's presence and took refuge in the land of Midian, where he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water from the well where Moses was resting, and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. You know, why do I do what I do? Most of you are using the Bible to destroy one another. Some of you are using the Bible to hide your sin. The Lord asked me to start teaching you the Bible, starting from verse 1. So that you understand, we do a Bible study. Those were instructions. Then Moses was afraid and said, "Certainly this incident is known." We are done with that. Now he's with the daughters. When he ran away, he found the daughters in Midian. The Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water from the well where Moses was resting, and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. Then shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. When they came to Raul, Jethro, their father, he said, "How is it that you have come back so soon today?" "Young man, you found someone's daughters. What do you do with them?" For you, when you find them, you're seeing a wife, material. When you open your eyes like this and see any girl passing by, you see someone to sleep with, right? And you're called Moses. In this case, in our days, Moses is not just a name, it's a garment. Some of you carry what Moses had, and some of you don't know, because you don't have the Holy Spirit. You don't have the Holy Spirit, so you don't know what you carry. Some of you have assignments upon your lives. You're supposed to open for us. You are a leader, but you don't know your assignments. Okay. God allows you to meet this girl. And for you, instead of seeing someone you're going to accomplish God's work with, you're seeing someone to sleep around with. And you don't ask the Lord, why did I meet this girl? When a man meets a girl, the only thing he thinks about is the bed. Same with the girls. That is all they think about. That's how they start. Most times, when you bump into a man, and it's not through work, it's not about school. Even when we are in school, kids look at each other as if they are bedmates. That's all they see. I went to mixed schools. We had boys, particular boys, and for them they went to school to see girls instead of studying. They know who is beautiful, who has a big butt, who can speak well, who has a good skin, who has the boobs. That is all they know up to today. They don't know who was the best in class. They don't even know who the headmaster was. But they know the most beautiful girl, the hottest chick on compound. In that when they meet them now, they still look at them the way they looked at them back in the day. And some have made mistakes with these girls. They've had sex with them. Unfortunately. They don't care whether the girl is married or not. Pray for your kids, please. Verses 20, then he said to his daughters, "Where is he? Why have you left the man behind? Invite him to have something to eat." Moses was willing to remain with the man, and he gave Moses his daughter Zipporah to be his wife as a thank you. Parents, you're just giving your daughter to a man you don't know. Choka parents. The man is handsome. He said he comes from the royal family. Engineer. Oh, banange mama. He has the money. Mama, mommy, avera abroad. Avera ma America. Oh, Bambi. He comes from abroad. Hey, manange. My daughter is getting married to a man who stays abroad. Avera waweru. My grandmother got married to a man because of staying in Nairobi. She was not in love with him. He said he stays in Nairobi. Jaja was like, I've never been to Nairobi. Let's go to Nairobi. She did not know that the guests on her wedding, someone saw her and fell in love with her on behalf of her son. She did not know that someone carries gifts. When she wants, she gets. And the man who was marrying her was a relative to the old woman. Tata, you're just giving your daughters away. Mnange tetuina sukari. Esther, Solome, you go, you are sugar. Daddy, I'm not sugar. Can they give us honey? Can they afford honey? Daddy, we are not bringing sugar. It's not healthy for you. He has to come with honey. And the man lies to her. And he lost. And the old woman won on behalf of her son. Continue. Jethro gives away his daughter just like that. Because of Moses' good guest. Without knowing him. Parents, hope you're learning something now. She gave birth to a son, and he named him Gashmo, stranger. Hey, Moses. For he said, I have been a stranger in a foreign land. Now it happened after a long time, after 40 years, my goodness, that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel, Jacob, groaned and sighed because of the bondage, and they cried out, and their cry for help because of their bondage ascended to God. For you gave birth to your son and your daughter. Did you make a collabo with God? Did Moses' parents make a collabo with God? younger man also wanted to live his life. Unfortunately, the younger man did not ask the Lord about his lineage and why he was created. The way you also looking at me. You just got a man. You just, omusajja alina thick pack. Omusajja muwanvu mweru. Omuwala n'afumbira omusajja lwa bweru. Obweru babulya. Ng'ogenda twala kasitaani eka. Munange omusajja handisamu Esther handisamu tebamulya. Banange omusajja yasoma Esther abasajja abaasoma mulaba edduka. Bajjajja beewaabwe tebaasoma basiru bakuba. Oyo ajja kukuba nga kukubira mu luzungu. Abasajja abaasoma. You want to tell me when he goes to school his ancestors leave? So God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Israel. You can find that in the book of Genesis, the whole of it. Go read and see. God saw the sons of Israel, and God took notice of them, and was concerned about them, knowing all, understanding all, remembering all. Moses' life changed just like that, the way your life changed. Me, I have never dreamt that I'll be doing something like this for a nation. It is not in my vocabulary. I wanted other things. I wanted to go to school. I wanted engineering. After doing my engineering, I wanted to be, when I reached my university level, I was interested in health and safety. Me, all I want is to be a health and safety specialist. Still my dream. I never dreamt of sitting here and teaching you the word. But I've always wanted to teach, to speak to multitudes, but in other things, not. This was never part of my deal. Nze saabisabako. Nze saayagalako kujjamu eno ensi, nze nali njagala kugenda eri mu UK. People cried and God changed. Hard. Uganda, you have been crying, but the cause of your crying is yourself. Now God has had your wamulanga. Waliwo omwami bamutanga mwami mulyanga. Neiba wa jjajja nga tuwa amata. Tugenda jjajja natugamba tugende tuguleyo amata wa mwami mulyanga. Kitulidde. Bannaffe kitulidde. You're working for the devil or you're working for God? Do you know that you have the biggest assignment in life? To save the world. You don't know. We are in trouble. Do you know that there are people who are crying and you're the one to rescue them? Karamoja is crying. You're supposed to be part of that project of Karamoja. You're busy taking yourself abroad. You're busy having party after party. Do you know that when they die, it is going to be on your head? You don't know. Hey, Mazima. I know it's not your assignment. It is our assignment as you are chosen. Verses 3, for you, you're chosen for the season to sit on the seat. To be our head. For you, you're chosen so that you become the celebrity. You call yourself chosen. Okay. Chapter 3. Now Moses was keeping the flock of Jethro Raul, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led his flock to the west side of the wilderness and came to Helbor, Sinai, the mountain of God. The angel of the Lord appeared to him in a blazing flame of fire from the midst of a bush, and he looked, and behold, the bush was on fire, yet it was not consumed. So Moses said, I must turn away from the flock and see this great insight. Moses was inquisitive. You carry the name Moses and you're not inquisitive? You don't think beyond your nose and you call them Moses? You call yourself Moses? You call yourself a Levite? And you don't think beyond your nose. You just ignore and you move on. And you call yourself Moses. Okay. Continue. You're naming your child Moses. You're in trouble. Careful. When the Lord saw that he turned away from the flock to look, God called to him from the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am. Verses 5, Then God said, Do not come near. Take your sandals off your feet, out of respect, because the place on which you are standing is a holy ground. This is where the Muslims get that part of remove your shoes while entering the mosque. This is where it comes from. Remove your shoes. This is how Moses learns to respect God's presence. It is God that taught him himself. This is where our Muslim brothers and sisters get it from, and they start practicing things without understanding. When you ask them what is God's presence, they don't know. But they will tell you that is a place of worship. But they don't know how to bring God down. They don't. Verse 6, Then he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Then Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. The Lord said, I have in fact seen the affliction, suffering, desolation of my people who are in Egypt, and have heard their cry because of their taskmasters, oppressors, for I know their pain and suffering. To those who are saying that Uganda is suffering and you're the one to rescue us, dial 911. What's your emergency? Because Uganda's situation is an emergency. And you're seated abroad and you want to rescue us. Did God qualify you to rescue us, as you call it? To rescue us from the hands of the tyrant? Do you even know how to do it? You don't know. Come, I teach you. The oppressors. When I look at you, you're the one oppressing us. Selling us off as slaves in other countries. To go and become maids. We are going to become maids through other people. You're doing human trafficking. And you're calling the president of Uganda a tyrant, when it is you, our own. Pastors have own those companies. Singers own those companies. The wananchis own those companies. Government officials own these companies. And they send us, our Lord, so that they can make money off us. as slaves. Now they are blaming it on the president. They call Museveni the government, which they work for. Choka our oppressors, our masters, taskmasters, our slave masters. You stay in someone's house and you become a slave. You can't do what you want. You have to do what they want. People ask people to come here politely to be nannies to their children. Then they mistreat them. Before you know it, they throw them out when they don't have documents. And they have to go into a lifestyle of asylum to look like refugees. Then when they write documents asking for asylum, they lie about the president. That the president wants to kill you. And you think God can be happy with you. When you left the country without asking for permission or informing him. Verses 8, so I have come down to rescue them from the hand, the power of the Egyptians, and to bring them up from that land to a land that is good and spacious, to a land flowing with milk and honey, a land of plenty, to the land that is good and spacious, to a land, to a place of the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Amorite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, the Jebusite. Now behold, the cry of the children of Israel has come to me, and I have also seen how the Egyptians oppress them. Leaders, God is watching. God is watching, pastors. God is watching how you treat the sheep. Oh, God is watching. God is watching. Presidents, ministers, MPs, vision bearers, group admins, the Lord is watching. In the season you became very important. And you're standing in God's way. God wants to rescue his people, and you became a stumbling block. You're going to deal with God. I don't have any kind words for you, but to just inform you what the Lord is telling the church. You stand in God's way, you collect people and put them on groups, and you lock them inside and you determine what they see and what they don't see. Slave to radio. I, Esther Solome, I am not a slave. I've never been a slave to anyone's child. Stay in your bondages. Stay in your bondages, your small houses and their bondages. Stay in your bondages, your small houses and your bondages. Stay in your bondages and your small houses of bondage. Stay in your bondages and your houses. Stay in your groups with your bondages. Continue. You don't bring anything on the group that adds value. And you throw out people who bring value. You throw out God. You don't have a solution to the death. You don't have a solution to the economy. Hey, I have a... Continue. Nyamirwa, Esther, nyamirwa. Therefore come now, and I will send you to Pharaoh, and then bring my people the children of Israel out of Egypt. But Moses said to God, who am I, that I should go to Pharaoh, that I should bring the children of Israel out of Egypt? Mukama yame marriage reka. Mukama, you still people's ministries. Mukama, you separate married people. Mukama, I destroy, I disrespect pastors. Bananda babatianza munanga Mukama. Mukama, bangamba nabane sente z'abaana nzija ulodi navayote abantu ne banda banzo omubi. Mukama, nze sinna nambeerera banne bakakodda. Mukama, Mukama, nze mbika enjiri y'abantu. Mukama, ndi walugezigezi. Mukama, nditume ekimu. Mukama, ndi selfish, nagana okuleta abantu abroad ne ka green card kange. Ndi selfish nnyo Mukama. Aye, Mukama, nze ngenda njogera ku bantu b'abendi. Mukama, ngamba waayiriza. Mukama, tino banfunira abasajja. Mukama. Nyabo. Mukama, njagala kutta Pastor Robert. Mukama. Kisa kimale. Mukama, ndi byakiyaye, bya jjajja wange byakiyaye. Mukama, ngena njogera ku bantu, njagala kunona bufumbo bwabwe, njagala kubba basajja baabwe. If anything goes wrong in that person's marriage, you are to blame. Mukama, ebyo byonna babyogedde bindi bubi. Mukama, navaayo ntya nze naswalaswala ddani mubi. Nzani ayogera mu bantu nga tetulina nakantu waffe. Tata nga bamusuza na busuza. Mukama. Mukama, nakyama n'omuwala basisobola kwogera ebigambo mbyogera bubi ne babikopa. Ne bakopa tuli waweeru. Mukama, obiraba naawe. Mukama, tebajja nakundaba. Mukama, nakola nti emirimu gyo sina. Omwana nabeera mu kiraasi nga waliyo 0 likes, 0 views, 0. Mukama, byonna obiwulira. Mukama, ndi eno mu isolation nzekka. Mukama. Nange. Moses defended himself. Mukama, bangambye ngudde eddalu. Mukama. Mukama, too much content. Mukama, bayita mulimo gwa too much content. Mukama, bagamba ndi frustrated, ndi depressed. Nange kino kika. Moses giving excuses. Mukama natunuulira Musa nakavala bafala wange. And God said, certainly I will be with you, and this shall be the sign to you that it is I who have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you shall serve and worship God at this mountain. Then Moses said to God, behold, when I come to the Israelites and say to them, the God of your fathers' ancestors has sent me to you, and they say to me, what is his name? What shall I say to them? God said to Moses, I am who I am. And he said, you shall say this to the Israelites, I am has sent me to you. Then God also said to Moses, this is what you shall say to the Israelites. The Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob Israel has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial name to all generations. Go gather the elders, tribal leaders of Israel together, and say to them, the Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, appeared to me, saying, I am indeed concerned about you and what has been done to you in Egypt. I have talked to the fathers in the nations and the mothers in the nations. All I got was negativity. I told people why I came to the US, why I'm appearing every now and then. All I got was negativity, throwing me off groups, blocking me. Let the games begin. Because most of you think it's a game. Verse 17, so I said, I will bring you up out of the suffering and oppression of Egypt to the land of the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Amorite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite, to a land flowing with milk and honey. The elders of the tribes will listen and pay attention to what you say. And you, with the elders of Israel, shall go to the king of Egypt, and you shall say to him, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has sent me with us, has met with us. So now, please, we ask and plead with you, let us go on a 3 days journey into the wilderness, so that we may sacrifice to the Lord our God. You know, coming to Egypt, it took them 3 days from Canaan. It was a 3 days journey. Go back in the book of Genesis. Verses 19, but I know that the king of Egypt will not let you go. God knew the heart. When God was sending me out to all of you, He knew your hearts. And some of you became fellows in other people's lives. You carry a fellow in your heart. Let us stay aware. The gospel is too much. And every time you've done that, the season has become tighter. Hope your group admins can rescue you. Hope your church owners can rescue you. Hope your friends can run to your rescue. Uganda, I warned you this year. You do Halloween. You think you've seen death? Brace yourselves. You refuse to listen and you brought nyege nyege. Hope you're ready. It is a nation at the crossroad. Continue. Verse 19, but I know that the king of Egypt will not let you go unless he is forced by a strong hand. You waited for God's hand to come down. Got it. So I will reach out my hand and strike Egypt with all my wonders, which I shall do in the midst to them of it. And after that, He will let you go, and I will grant these people favor and respect in the sight of the Egyptians. Therefore it shall be that when you go, you will not go empty-handed, but every woman shall insistently ask her neighbor and any woman who lives in her house for articles of silver and articles of gold and clothing, and you shall put them on your sons and daughters. In this way you are to plunder the Egyptians, leaving bondage with great possessions that are rightfully yours. I told you not to stand in my way, because you thought I am self-made. Now you're going to choose whether you're Moses or you're Pharaoh. In your WhatsApp phone number, in your group, in your family, in your church. Leaders, hello. He has said, so I will reach out my hand and strike Egypt, to all those that carry the Egyptian's heart. This is yours. Egypt with all my wonders, which I shall do in the midst of it. And after that, he will let you go. I wrote a message of no manufacturer of a padlock, no one who manufactures a padlock that has no key. God cannot send problems, and he doesn't send solutions, right? And some people came out and said that God does not send problems. When you stand in God's way, he sends, we call them wonders. Kale genda kutema nja kudeta. Sawa meka. Katukebere etawa. Ngenda kulekera genda osome ekitabo kya Gunti. Ojja genda osome God's economy. Kasoke nkuleke nkulazi nkulekaawo. Tofaayo. Topic si mukama gyaleeta gye tugenda nayo nze sivuga kiraasi. Katonda owange byampa okusomesa bisizoni ya sizoni. Kati nange ngeri tinno ze siringa gwe. I am different. Kankumiikirize nkole byagamba. Naawe okole ebibyo. Tuyongereyo mu bulamu. Naku Jones jagga kulabula gakugamba don't stand in the way ngogana. Kati nkulekedde message wesorting. Wesorting naabewo mwakowa mu inbox zammwe mwanyiga. Kati munagge mbalekedde essanyu n'emirembe. Nze ngenze bye. Jakudda ngafunye time. Nkuwadde to make information kati manyo ofunye kanzunzu. Abalindi lira Yesu tetuwangulwa. Ensine bweberekai. Oteka time ku group. Bano ne basanga ngebintu biri deleted. To all slave masters out there. This is me flying away. La Yesu tebawangulwa. Ensine bwebereka tebamutuka. Linda Yesu. Where did you meet me? You don't know. Yalina mani. Why did I come and stay in your house? You don't know. Agayamba abako, yeah. God used you in my life and you took the credit. Echisache tochimba chinyoma chirina amanyi okulokola abakoye. If you don't see me march, your time is done. Linda Yesu. Esther, use your platforms. That's what he said in 2020. But because I was very scared of being alone, I kept on sending you things and you hurting my feelings, disrespecting me because of the gospel, scaring me with all your rotten words. And you know God. Yatukumayeta koa erate yeba asindika jakoa tetuja bikebera. Che chigouche tukwe kewa linda. He said when you want the work, you will find it outside. Agayamba. I'm always live on Instagram. YouTube will load later. I use Esther Solome on all the platforms. Linda. Linda Yesu. Linda. Agayamba Linda Yesu Linda Yesu Linda Yalina manyi agayaba abakoye. Kantorana omujishaye akankunda Yesu wanje antine shongane imwe torana akankunda munonga Yesu tushemerere hamwe ruhanga kantorana tushemerere hamwe kantorana. We have riots for the youth. 15th and 17th December 2022. From 15th to 17th December 2022. The devil wants to destroy the younger generation because it is the seed that has fruits. Ruhanga kantorana. Mama Eva Katerega has a camp for kids up to 20 years of age. They are going to teach them. The kid is not supposed to take a phone. Listen to Impact FM. They'll tell you the details. Pastor Mark Chigozi has a camp for kids. 12 years. Tueva somos jeni Yesu. The devil wants to kill your kids. Your child is going in for vacation. Careful where you send your child. The season is bad. Peace like a reef endeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roar. Whatever, my Lord, thou hast taught me to sing, it is well with my soul. It is well. Careful with the friends of your kids. With my soul, it is well, it is well. There is something in your friend that kills a seed in other people's children. You don't know your friend. Should perfect the trials should come, let this blessed assurance control that Christ has regarded my helpless Esther and hath shed his own blood. You wanted to terminate what is in my life. Why not warn others that you can also terminate their kids? It is well, my soul. Because you don't know my father, so you want to terminate us. They tried it in his days. Sin, all the beliefs. I come out and they block me. The whole world, he is nailed to the cross, and I bear it no more. To all the men and women that walked with my parents. I love you with your children. Oh, my soul, it is well. To all my family members, I love you with your children. Whoever calls me Jaja. And Nachmera was your mother. It is well with my, or your in-law. I don't think she was your in-love. Because if she was your in-love, I wouldn't expect to get all the negativity you have given me when I'm growing up till death. It is well, it is well with my soul. As I live, let me live with this song, and I'll appear when abasuza mu kikadde. Hello to the YouTubers. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord bless the works of your hands. Make a prayer. Eric Potson, may the Lord bless the works of your hands. May the Lord protect your families in the season. I love you. Have a blessed Sunday. Enjoy with your families. And everyone who will come and watch Instagram later, may the Lord bless you. Wansi w'omusingi gw'ensi akasolya ak'eggulu. Bamunoonya mu nnyanja, bamunoonya mu nsozi, nyamu miti. Ani yatonda ebitono? Ani? May the Lord bless you. May the Lord enlarge your territories. May the Lord bless you with your families, your churches, your businesses, your groups, your associations, your families. Nyini byonna. To all leaders out there and parents to leaders. The season is bad. You're gonna pay for not doing God's work. The season is bad. Lwaki mumunoonya mu nnyanja? Lwaki mumunoonya mu nsozi? Abamu mumunoonya mu miti. Ani yatonda ebitono? Buuza ani yatonda? Ani yatandika omuzadde? Zani? Bamunoonya mu nnyanja, bagunoonya mu nsozi. The life of an isolated girl. With a hidden secret agenda of a lineage that doesn't exist anywhere. No history at all written anywhere. Because it was erased from the history of the country. Careful with your kids and who they hang around with. Your friends are not your friends. They love you because of what you have. I know. I'm speaking out of experience. I'm only loved when I give money. When I can share your things and send it out for others to see so that you can get money. So that you can be put in the newspapers. When it comes to the real me and what I can do, you are the God. You are the God. You give me joy. Testify. Have a blessed day. May the Lord's face shine upon you with your families. If you're out there and God has called you to do something, don't give excuses. He will equip you. He will qualify you. You don't need man to validate you or qualify you. The season is bad. Just do what God is telling you. Don't wait for numbers. Don't delay yourself. I'll see you later. I sign out. When I come back, we'll go to God's economy. Bye-bye.